Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the HFD Footy Podcast on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday night. After Johnny Carlton has relieved himself from that horror on the weekend. He's in a good mood now. So what better way to start the show when Johnny Carlton can introduce the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am your prince, Johnny Carlton. And if there's a prince, there must be a king. King of the North, how are you, my friends?
G'day, Johnny Carlton. G'day, J Crom. G'day, chat. We've got all the regulars in the chat. I'll take it over to them shortly. And, yeah, good to be with you.
And for the first time after coming on the AFL Footy Podcast, he's come after a loss. And it was a controversial loss. But, ladies and gentlemen, please don't go away. There is, J Crom's going to tell the whole chat all about it. But, King of the North, how about you welcome the chat into the show?
Yeah, g'day everybody in the chat. Ree and Toby's in there, J-Mar's in there right from the beginning again. Justice Sanger's in very early as well, so he's up and about with his St Kilda team going. Chris C's in the chat as well. Welcome in everybody as well. HFD Footy, who else have we got? King of the North, and Dam is in there as well. So welcome in, Dam. Let's just do this quickly before we do that. Damn! There we go, guys. So yeah, welcome to the chat. Welcome to everybody who is watching along, who isn't in the chat. Welcome to HFD Footy. And yeah, we just talk about, if you're new to the channel, we just talk about the week that was, and we do our tips on the footy show. So should we get it kicked off?
Let's do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was Thursday night. It was Johnny Carlton's beloved Carlton taking on his rival nemesis in Collingwood. Some people have now converted from Johnny Carlton to Johnny Collingwood, so that's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah. First of all, obviously, if you wanted to hear Johnny Carlton's rant and King of the North's opinion, make sure you watch after the game that happened yesterday. It's a worth of a watch, so you won't be disappointed.
That's for sure.
It was a round and a half. But we're going to hear from the other one today because he wasn't there. J Crom, I know it's probably nearly a whole week ago, mate, but if you can remember the game, did you watch the game? Did you see any of these highlights?
I
did watch this.
Let's just bring up the score first, and then we'll get the commentary. So it was Magpies on Thursday night, 63 to Carlton 46, and Collingwood won by 17 points.
Jacob, your thoughts?
So look, it just seems to be like a running theme with Carlton. They seem to get in front by halftime, and they just, stop after halftime. The second half of the game has been very poor this year. So, and another low score from Carlton, under 50 points, only kicked 6 goals for the game. That's another disappointing aspect of it. You've got the likes of Kerno and stuff. But have they lost, I'm not sure what's going on with Carlton, but yeah, look, another designating loss, 0-4, and Collingwood. I don't think they were at their greatest either. I mean, Nick Dacos was semi-quiet, but look, I think the big story here is Carlton 0-4, and look, it's not looking good for him finals-wise. I know Hawthorn did it last year, but Johnny, what do you reckon, man? Are you guys a chance for finals this year or what?
Look, mate, after what I said last night, I'll be surprised even if we beat West Coast this week, to be honest, at this point. Look, as I said, it's just beautiful to hear that Carlton have a new sponsor. We're 0-4, but that doesn't really matter. We have a new sponsor, so all is forgiven apparently. So
yeah, so look, maybe most of us on the panel last week, we agreed that Voss might have to go. So I'm not sure if anyone's changed their opinion on that. But
I expected him to be out of the door Friday morning, J Crom, but unfortunately they didn't agree with my decision on Thursday night. So.
Jeez.
The lids are certainly tight on the containers, aren't they?
They are.
Well, look, you even got Penrith doing the business at 50 years old, getting 29 disposals. So, look, it's just, I know what it's like to be down there. Like, I'm a Crows fan. We've been down there for a while. But look, I'm expecting a much more from this Carlton team. I didn't expect them to be 0-4. So, yeah, it's just this bad start to the season for the Blues, and I've got a lot of family members, as you know, they're all Carlton supporters, so I do hear about it. But look, I expect them to bounce back this week and go around.
Well, we all hope so, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do lose. So, moving on to Friday night, King of the North. You want to bring it up?
Good evening to Johnsy. Johnsy's just popped in the chat, and Dan is hanging out for the Crows commentary as well. But we will do game number 2, so let's have a look at that. It was the Cats over Melbourne, 85-46. Geelong Cats won by 39 points. And, I said to Johnny Carlton last night that it wasn't a bad start by Melbourne, but they sort of fell away. So, what did you think?
As you mentioned, they sort of kept in the game quite, up to the... in that third quarter, they were pretty in it. But a better performance from Melbourne, really. Geelong, to me, haven't really kicked on properly yet. They haven't hit their strides. But look, I think we're going to see a lot of this from Melbourne this year. They honestly look maybe like a bottom 4 side this year. And I suspect the rebuild is around the corner for them. I'm not sure what they're going to do with Simon Goodwin now. I think there's a lot of talk of him in the same sort of category as Voss. But listen, Geelong just do the business. They end up winning by close to 40 points in the end. But as King mentioned, they did run away at the end. Yeah, look, they got some young players coming through as always out of nowhere. Geelong, like O'Sullivan, looks like quite the player down there. Just another, really strong backman who can do, running off the half back line and do an intercept mark. So really impressed with him. And look, the big man came back into this game, into the ruck, Stanley, and did pretty well. And, maybe that's what they need, the Stanley-De Koning partnership back. But, look, I really hate Geelong. And, I did tip them to win the flag, but I hope we beat them this week and go around. But, look, Melbourne, they're struggling, lads. What do you reckon? Bottom 4, maybe?
Well, I got a question for you as well. Out of Ken Hinkley, Simon Goodwin, and Michael Voss, who do you think's the first to go?
Good question.
Wow. Well, like Hinkley was, it's a crazy one. It's like he's been sacked, but he's still there. So, jeepers, I think I think there was more expectation this year on Carlton, obviously, and oh man, I'll probably say Hinkley, then Voss, then Goodwin, if that makes sense. So, yeah.
And another question. Do you think Petrarca stays at Melbourne next year?
No, I don't. I think he wanted to go this year, to be honest, but it was hard for him to get the move. But I think he will be at a different club next year. I'm not sure he'll probably want to stay in Melbourne. I hear that he wants to play for the big crowd clubs like the Carlton, the Essendons, or the Collingwoods or something like that. But whoever goes to Petrarca, I think you're going to have to put up a fair bit. And how old is he? 29 now. So problem is he worth it? You got to sort of be that club that's in a premiership window, I would thought, to really go for Petrarca. If not, it's just probably no point. So you never know. Maybe Carlton pick him up, give him a boost. Who knows?
Yeah, well, look, unfortunately, we can't afford him at the moment, but that's all right. We're trying to spend a lot of money on our ruckman Tom De Koning at the moment, but look, as I said, we'll move on. Now this is a game that everyone wants to talk about. It was probably the game of the round, to be honest. And King of the North, I feel like you have a video for us.
I do. Yeah, I just wanted to say a quick hello to Brian Ellis, who's popped into the chat as well. So thanks for coming in, Brian. Dam thought either Goodwin, and then he changed his mind to Hinkley, so he's not sure either. And ditching the 15 flags in 10 years. I don't know what that means. Anyway, we've got the video, and it's a repeat. We thought it was only going to happen once, but it has happened twice. So here we go.
Absolutely, the Crows were robbed. Right in front of me.
The Crows were robbed. Right in front of me. The Crows were robbed.
It was a joke. All right.
Unbelievable.
It's almost like a dance track now.
It almost is. All right, let's bring up the score. It was the Gold Coast Suns 91-90. The Gold Coast won by 1 point, and it was a cracking game of footy. Absolute beauty. The Gold Coast Suns have definitely turned up this season. And Johnny Carlton.
J Crom.
Yo.
They were robbed right in front of me, mate.
Right in front of me.
Right in front of me. All right? Robbed right in front of me. Now, look. You're an Adelaide supporter, and this was probably your first game that you saw a bit of a different way. You were expecting to winning 4 quarters the first 3 weeks. You didn't get that this week. There was actually a bit of a fight. Were you surprised? Were you happy with your boys as like the whole game as they passed? Like they didn't fall back. They stayed in the game the whole game. Like, do you think it's already a big difference from last year? And like, do you think like, honestly, that should have been a mark in our opinions? But talk about it and just talk about how you thought how the Crows went and like from last year to this year. Because we want to know as an Adelaide supporter.
Look, we'll start on like the comparisons of last year and this year. Look, in this game, we didn't start the quarters very well, but what we did manage to do is fight hard and get back into each quarter. So Gold Coast actually played really well, especially in that first half. I think they were quite the better team, but we ended up winning at half-time somehow. So our forward line was so potent, it kept us in the game, but they were the better team. But the second half was sort of similar, but we lifted up our game. We did let them get the lead again at the start of every quarter, and we did claw our way back. But last year, this type of game, look, we got belted, I think, by Gold Coast and Darwin last year. So look, this Gold Coast team is a really good team. I can see them fighting for top 4 this year. So I was sleeping on them this year, but they impressed me a lot in this game. So did the Crows. We can take a lot of positives out of this game. We never gave up. We honestly looked like the better side in that last 5-10 minutes, and we're just going to run over them. But look, obviously, the big talking point here is the ranking thing, and there was a few howlers in this game by the umpires. It wasn't just that one. So it's a bit like Hardwick said in their post press conference. Do you want to talk about every free kick, because there was quite a few of them. But look, it's just frustrating. Like, it's not even. We're so used to this in the last couple of years. We've had a lot of last-minute calls that have gone against us. It's not just the goal that we missed out to go to the finals. It's obviously the Draper one where he just lies on top of the footy. Should have been a free kick for a shot on goal. Same with Dawson against Collingwood. He got copped around the head, high tackle, was bleeding from the mouth as well from it. No call, should have been a shot after the siren there. It wouldn't have been a draw. Listen, it's just... And the thing that annoys me the most, right, is that the AFL just keep coming out and say, well, yeah, should have been a mark or a free kick. Sorry, mate. Like, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think when they do it, I'm like, yeah, whatever. What are we going to get out of it? We get nothing. But if they don't do it, then I feel like we don't get acknowledged. So it's hard to... I don't know how I feel about these apologies, but they are getting irritating and annoying. But yeah, like, there was another instance in this game. I think it was Rao's free kick, and he was supposed to take the kick behind the mark, and the other player just threw it to Butterick, and somehow that's an advantage, and he kicks it into the 50, and obviously Ben King marks it and kicks a goal. So that's another just absolute ridiculous call, and even the commentators were just so confused by it, and that's another 6 points against us just there. So look, I like what our coach said after the game. Look, we've got to stop getting ourselves into this position where we're fighting for the game at the end. I know it's good to get, hang out in that game and just be there at the end, but we've got to be better and be obviously winning by, more points than that if we want to win games like this away. So, yeah, look, it's just another one. I'm proud of the boys. I think we played well. We didn't have Crouch in this game. We didn't have Murray. We didn't have Rochelle. So they're three big outs for us. They're in our best 22. And so, look, without those players, I mean, I tell you what, the Phil Seeker, the big bear, what an animal this guy is. I've seen him. He's not just good in the air. This guy is good on the ground, and he does flicks, he does tricks, and I tell you what, that McAndrew guy is a good defender, but Phil Ford barved him and he couldn't take it. And he gave him the thumbs up at the end. He was being a smartass at the end of that game, and that's why I was heated. And there was no class shown at all from McAndrew, but that's the way it is. That's how he wants to be. But yeah, look, a lot of positives from the Crows. I did think this game was going to be a tough game for us. I did tip them with my heart, but in my head I thought, look, we could lose this one because Gold Coast are looking great. I mean, look at their percentage. It's like 1,000 points. So, look, I think a lot of teams are going to struggle to beat Gold Coast up there. So, to take it to them to that last minute, and, we should have either drawn or won the game. And, Rankin taking a shot from the boundary, you back him in. So
100%.
Look, we just got to dust ourselves off and get ready for Gavaround on Thursday, the opening game against Geelong.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, good commentary there. We've lost J Crom. We've lost Johnny Carlton. Can you believe it or not? I need him.
Really?
I need him to dial back in. So
the boxes are everywhere.
I know. Yeah, I just need him to come back on Discord again, and then everything will line up again. So,
oh jeez. Well, look, guys. Crows, man. Like, King, what do you reckon? Like, unlucky?
I don't think you got too much to worry about. I think the Gold Coast are a really good side. And I think it was like really well done on their part. So,
they did play some great football.
They played great football. Your team was good all over the ground. Like you haven't got any weakness really in the back line, in the midfield, in your forward line. And you took on a really good side. So I think you've got some really positives coming out of the game, even though it's a loss. But I don't think you've got too much to worry about. You've got a bloody really good side.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, that Gold Coast team, they've got some really good players, especially in that midfield of Rao, Anderson, and Miller.
Yep.
They've got some class in that squad for sure. And it just goes to show the AFL have really built this team up. So they've given them a great coach.
They have.
Given them extra salary cap. They've given them a lot of draft picks. So, have they given them, the rub of the green as well, the umpires, So...
Exactly.
So we are waiting for Johnny Carlton here.
We are. Otherwise...
What? Has he just gone full flat battery on us?
His phone's died. Like, I can't believe it. Now his Discord isn't working, so...
Wow.
Damn.
Can we just
if I redo the box... Oh, hang on. Here he comes.
Yeah, is he back?
I think so, yeah. No, he's...
This is not a good week, boys.
All right, we got him. We got our boxes back.
Look, this is how I'm going to be from now on because my phone apparently is not working. So this is what you're going to get.
All right.
Can you see my face?
There's like something.
There's something in front of There's something in front of your screen. Is there some white thing in front of your screen, or do I need to just adjust?
No, there's. Wait. I'm not on the side. Wait, one second.
Okay. That's better. There is something white in the corner though. I'm not sure what that is.
I think that must be on your ABS or something.
Ah, hang on. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Okay. All right. I think we're good.
Yeah,
you're back, Johnny Carlton.
Johnny
Thank
Carlton.
you.
Are the Crows just unlucky or what?
Yeah, mate. Like talking about that game, it was like I couldn't believe my eyes, man. I was like, not again. Like the Keys thing just happened like recently, and now the freaking ranking should have been paid. And I love how like Mac Andrew gives it to the Big Bear. And I'm like, hey, mate, don't touch the Big Bear, mate. You should have lost that game, but
that's what I mentioned. I said he kicked 5 on you, and look, he was being a smart ass at the end of the game.
Yeah, look, as I said, I thought what I was going to say. I think Adelaide's recruits over the season has been phenomenal.
Yep.
I thought Peatling had a really good game as well. It just keeps getting better and better. Neil Bullen's just at that other. I personally think Adelaide have the best forward line in the comp.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
I think that like you guys, like Fogarty's a star. Well, Tex is just there. They not game by game. You got Riley Thurthorpe. You got Neil Bullen, Rochelle in there when he's fit. Rankin in there when he's fit. Like this team's just filled with stars. And I said you guys are going to go a long way this year. So it's a very exciting times for Adelaide. But yeah, no.
I was saying the same about Gold Coast. I think they're a really good side and they could go quite the distance as well.
Do you put them in the top 4, J Crom? Or top 8 still?
Well, I think Champion Data will put them in the top 4 now. Like, I know they're in there by the points, but they've proven in the first 2 games they can win away, but they have beaten, obviously, West Coast and was it Melbourne or?
Melbourne at the MCG.
Yeah, so not the best opposition away. So let's see what they do, against, say, Geelong and, others away. So we'll see.
The only thing about Gold Coast, that forward line scares me. Like, if Ben King goes down, I don't think they can handle that, you know what I mean? Like, but, yeah.
True.
All right, well, moving on. Sorry about that. Sorry about my phone. Bloody connections.
That's all right.
Had to rush home from work. Didn't even see my battery. I thought it was like on 60, but it was on like 6.
There we go.
Anyway.
That's all right. Let's have a look at the next game. It was Richmond Tigers versus the Lions, and the Lions are back at the MCG for the first time since the grand final. and they got the win 118-90, and Brisbane won by 28 points. But as I said to Johnny Carlton yesterday, Richmond actually put on 90 points, J Crom.
Yeah, I think they can hold their heads up high for this game. Brisbane were in front by a bit more than that. Richmond came home a bit late, but look, it just feels like Brisbane didn't really get to top gear in this game. They did what they did. I mean, Ashcroft was just amazing in this game. I watched this. Neil was just let off the leash, got 42 disposals. I mean, you got to man up on Neil. You can't let him get that many disposals. But look, I'm really impressed with Laylor. Like, I think, obviously he's the number one draft pick for a reason. And look, I mean, Richmond, this is what they got to do all year. They got to be competitive, and they just got to keep trucking on, don't they? You know what I mean? They got to.
That's it.
So, yeah, what do you reckon? Do you reckon there's a few more wins for Richmond this year, or they're going to struggle to get a win?
I think there is actually. Yeah, they've proven that they can put it on. I know it's been against. Their wins have been against, Carlton, which is not a shabby effort, and they had a couple of games where it was the old Richmond of last year, but to go with Brisbane is a pretty big task. So these young fellas are going out trying, so it's good.
Let's say it was Richmond and North next weekend at Marvel. Who would you pick?
Sure, geez, that's a tough one. It depends who was on. Like if Richmond was on, then they'd get them. If North actually turned around and played like they've shown they can, then it'd be North. It'd be really even contest, I reckon. J-Mar reckons North just so yeah. But I think that's just experience. It's just good experience getting into these young players,
Yeah, I mean, leaders in that team of Nam Curvis and even Taranto and Hopper are really helping them.
Yep.
So they've got experience, they've got short as well, so that will help their youngsters develop. But, I mean, there's not much to say for Brisbane. What do you gauge from them in this match? You know what I mean? I think just their main guys did it again, really. You got McCluggage, Dunkley, Neil all getting the pill and Ashcroft. Yep. So, you let them get off the chain. You gotta lose the match. So easy win for Brisbane in the end. But yeah, Richmond can hold their heads up high. And look, I don't think they're going to be wooden spooners. I think they've got another couple wins up their sleeve. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Welcome in Genmore to the chat as well. Brisbane's first game since the grand final, and believe Richmond's first game back at the G since Carlton game. So back at the G for both sides.
Is that the first time they've beaten Richmond in like a long time? I read somewhere.
It could be, yeah, because they went 0-5 last season, so they would have probably played Richmond early as well last season, I would have thought.
Yeah, well,
but yeah, I liked how Brisbane didn't rely on one player as well. They played it as a team, which was good from J-Mar as well.
Yeah, spread the goals.
Neil with 40. Did Neil get 42 disposals?
Yeah, he got 42, yeah.
Wow, that's massive.
27 handballs.
27 handballs, that's unbelievable, isn't it?
27 handballs, so unbelievable. Just goes to show there was no one running with him, and give that much space to Neil was going to clean you. So
that's right, yeah. Richmond only beat the Crows and the Swans last season, Dam says.
Yeah, I remember that.
How can you even rely on one player with that list as well? So the Lions did beat them last year. Yep. Anyway, we'll move on to the other team. We were talking about North. So the next game is North. It was Sydney versus North, and it was 117-52. It was a 65-point win to the Sydney Swans. And to be honest, they gave North a belting.
Yeah. They did, and look, this is a huge step backwards for North. They actually dominated possessions, I think, and did nothing with it.
They did.
So they got actually 50 odd possessions more than Sydney, and I mean Sydney just don't muck around with the pill. They just hit the targets and put scores on the board.
Yep.
And you know they got another new gem. What is he? Riley Bryce.
Riley Bryce,
had a ripper
yeah.
of a game.
Mm-hmm.
So Sydney just seems to find gems. But look, if you're North, the story here is about North really. North have had some couple good performances this year. They weren't too bad against the Crows as well here in Adelaide, but yeah, this is one step back. And I think Alex Clarkson would be pretty annoyed. And I'm hearing rumours that they should change Clarko. Like, what do you guys reckon? Should Clarko be changed out?
I think you've got to give him. I think you've got to give him a bit more time. It's a really new team. There's a lot of new players in there that they brought in, so I think they've got to give it time. I don't think he's anywhere near and some of those other coaches, which are time to move on. But it's just getting his game style right. Like whatever the game style is that he's doing, then they just have to get on board with it. To be honest, so.
I'm kind of feeling if he gets less than 5 wins for the year, I think it's time to go. I think you got to be a bit more ruthless with these coaches. And if he gets only 3 or 4 wins for the year, I would be asking the question because you put a performance out like you did against Melbourne and even the Bulldogs, and then you go get just absolutely walloped by a Sydney team who are got some injuries problems. They've got a few big injuries out of this squad, and North are relatively healthy. So one of the healthiest lists in the league right now are North. And look, Larkey was just invisible to the last 2 minutes where he kicked his 2 goals. Look, Sheasel was everywhere, but he just wasn't that damaging. They put him back to the half-back line, and he got the disposals, but just not damaging. You know what I mean? And Caleb Daniel, you're bringing Caleb Daniel in to take the kick-ins and be your precision kicker.
Yep.
And the bloke just turns it over, man. Like, unreal. Like, you'd be pulling your hair out if you were Clarkson with that move. So I'm not sure what they're going to do about the back line with Daniel and Sheasel and Comden and that. It's just not really clicking for me. So they got some selection problems and they got some position problems for me, King. So
and the tackle, the tackle pressure from Sydney was just elite. Like they were just getting smashed all over the park and turning the ball over and ball and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, Coxie would be happy with Sydney's performance. They really done well. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm not sure what you guys thought about North yesterday, but very disappointing.
What did you reckon, Johnny?
I'm definitely not tipping North ever again. So that's what's happening. They freaking let me down. But look, as I said, what I said yesterday, I didn't watch a lot of this game. But as I said, I feel like the old Sydney are back now. I expected North to actually give a contest and not to be beaten by 50 points, especially at Marvel Stadium. Like, if it was at the SCG, I would have gone, okay. But it was at their home deck as well, so it was a bit disappointing. And as I said, like, the players that they brought in as well, I felt like the way they played against Adelaide and the way they played against Melbourne, it just did not look like that last night on Saturday against Sydney. So hopefully they go back to the drawing board. But look, Sydney were just too good on the day, and
100%.
All right, well, moving on. That's Saturday. We'll start off with Frenzy Sunday. So first of all, talking about a demolition game. This game was basically one player versus the whole team, and it was Jesse Hogan versus West Coast. King, you want to bring up the scores?
Yep, it was 132 to 51, and it was an 81-point win to GWS at home, and it was a demolition job.
Jacob, your thoughts on the Orange Tsunami, mate?
Yeah, look, I didn't watch this game because I sort of saved it for the Saints and Port game for this Sunday Arvo. But listen, what do you expect? West Coast, for me, are the worst club in the league. They just seem to be going backwards. I don't know what position they can... I heard they put Harley Reid on half back to get more out of him. A bit of a run from there, but didn't look like it did much. But listen, West Coast have got their issues. They're going to get belted here and there. They're going to put up the odd decent performance here and there. But yeah, it's a big building list for this club. So they look miles off it. GWS is the big story here. I think Hogan kicked 9 straight. So
Kicked more than the team.
Did he get 9? Was it 9 disposals, 9 goals? Because at one stage it was 6 disposals, 6 goals. So
I don't think it ended like that. But yeah, I feel sorry for the debutant who was on him playing his first game, and to have a player kick 9 goals on you.
What a way to start your career! just to play on Hogan who kicks 9 on you. Well, lucky it's not 10. So. But look, Toby Green, how's he started for the year? Unbelievable. He's not just scoring goals. The guy's getting 25 possessions a game. So,
yep.
He's really put up his game. And GWS look good, obviously. Just the one blemish against Hawthorn, which you could forgive in Tasmania. But listen, they look finals bound. They could even be premiers bound. So, the Orange Tsunami are looking good. They got the players. But yeah, West Coast... If there are any West Coast supporters out there, I'm not sure there's much coming into our chat, but yeah, dark days for the Eagles for sure.
That's true. Few comments about Johnny Carlton's internet, but he's just struggling over there with his phone, not his internet, so he's all good. J Crom, are you going to get a premiership tat this year? From John Z.
Well, I'll have to do it without my missus knowing, because she hates that. I've got the one tattoo already, and she hates it. So I'd have to do it in secret, and I don't know where I'll put it.
There we go.
I would consider it, and John Z, you'd have to come with me, man. So
that's it.
I'm not going to do it like those crazy people do it before you even win the thing. I've seen a few people on TikTok. I think it was a Carlton fan actually put a tat of him. Last year, so
he put it on his forehead, mate. That's dedication.
That is dedication. Yep.
Crazy, man.
Well, I know J Crom's team didn't win on the weekend, but this game would make him smile and be very happy. It was the Saints knocking off the Power and King of the North. You want to bring it up?
Yep, it was St Kilda 89 to Port Adelaide 72. It was St Kilda by 17 points, and it was a good game. I watched this one, and they were in it. They could have won it, Port, but Saints were just kept on going, didn't they? They didn't give up until right to the end.
Yeah, I felt like Saints were always winning in this game. I'm not sure if Port ever got the lead, but look, I was impressed by St Kilda. I'll talk about Saints first. Look, they moved the ball really well, and McRae's been great ever since he's come to that club. Wangening Miller, what a player that guy is. If he ever put himself in the shop window for the Adelaide crowd, because there is rumours that Port and Crows want to bring him back home. So, mate, looks like he loves the Adelaide Oval, because he just dominated, and he was so quick. Port could not touch him. But look, it was a good game. Saints did look like the better team most of the day. I know Horn Francis had a ripper of a game. Got him in my super coach team. He scored a 150. But look, yeah, Port have got their problems. I know they bring Butters back. He looked very off the pace. Didn't look ready at all. He made some blunders. They were tagging Rosie, so that just goes to show that Butters wasn't the worry. But I don't know. I think Port have got some. Yeah, Port. What can I say about them? I don't think they're playing finals at all. They don't look like a finals team right now. And I'm not sure what they're doing with this whole Hinkley, Josh Carr thing. So it just seems silly. I don't even think Hinkley even wants to be there right now. I think he'd rather just get paid out and just start the process now. If I was Port, I would really consider hey, listen, we're getting to the point where this season might be a wash. Let's give Josh Carr the rest of the season at least as the head of the guy instead of having two shifts Indian Chiefs there instead of Indian. So yeah, look. You just got to cut ties with Hinkley. I reckon he has to go. You got to let Josh do it, and before it gets too bad, for sure.
Well, this was a question I was going to ask Chris C on the podcast, but then I found that he wasn't coming. But Jacob, and knowing you, let's just say, so we all know Josh Carr's taking over Port Adelaide in 2026, right? Why wouldn't you let him take over now, have some previous experience, but still have Ken by his ear?
Yeah.
So Josh be the head guy and Hinkley is in the background?
Yeah, Ken will still be the head coach and he'll do the presses and everything like that. And he'll be still the head coach. But let Josh Carr do the pre-game interviews, halftime speeches, get him prepared for next year. And if he needs advice, you have a senior coach in Ken Hinkley in his ear saying, this is what you do and this is what you don't do.
Exactly.
It could work. They've got to change something because clearly, I don't know how this is running like this, you know what I mean? Because everyone knows that Hinkley's out the door, but he's still there. And it would be good in the way you explained it, that you're easing Josh in and, it's going to be a bit of a process. But look, I've never seen it really done like this before.
Well, look,
maybe Sydney were planning to do this all year last year, but just didn't let us know like Port have. So maybe Longmire was planning to give it to Coxie the whole time, but we just didn't know about it. So
that's what I'm saying. They're 1-3. Ken's still there. Don't get me wrong. The coach is still there, right? But let Josh take over. Maybe if he wants to put a forward position, imagine having experience going into next year instead of just going your first game bang. At least you had the whole freaking 2025 season with Ken and just get some experience before you go into next year to head coach.
I think that's all that Port can do now. That's what they got to do.
If that was Carlton, I would be doing it straight away. Let's just say Carlton signed Adam Simpson for the rest of the season as an assistant coach, right?
Yeah.
Then they say, midway through the season, Adam Simpson's going to take over Carlton in 2026. I'll let Simo coach for the whole rest of the year and let Voss be next to him and show him some support. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah, I agree. It's getting a bit silly now, this whole thing. We all know Hinkley's done there. So I think he looks even checked out sometimes. I saw him on the sidelines, just sort of these smiles talking to the players when, they're down. So
yeah.
I'm not too sure how Chris would feel about it. But, I'll definitely want that change done quicker. Sooner rather than later.
Moving on.
Johnsy reckons Josh Carr doesn't want to steer that shit heap, which is a bit harsh. Gemwell says we love what Ken is doing and leave Brittany alone. I mean, leave Ken alone. So there we go. In fairness to you, Johnny Carlton, Graham Wright will be calling the shots, and it won't be easy. Won't be an easy fix, but you'll be all right.
There you go.
Fair enough.
Is that?
But anyways, guys, moving on to the last game of the rounds.
The last game of the
this
round?
It was the Derby. Not Derby. Sorry, it was in Perth, and the Dockers taked on the Dogs, and we proceeded this team to win the flag, and I think they're starting to find their groove.
Exactly right. Yep, it was the Dockers 97 to the Dogs 81. Fremantle won by 16 points, and a really good game.
Yeah, it was a really good game. Fremantle got some injuries in this game. I believe Jackson went down, O'Driscoll and Wagner. So comes at a bit of a price. I mean, Jackson is probably the big one there as the solo ruck, but I've heard Darcy's fit enough to come back, so that's a watch there. But yeah, look, Sam Darcy, man, for the Bulldogs, man, what a player that kid is. Just imagine if the Crows had him with Phil Fort. That would just
relax, man. You can't have everyone. This bloke wants everyone.
But yeah, look, he's impressive to watch. This kid, he just seems to mark it with ease. He kicked 5 straight in this game. Yeah, kept the Dogs in it. But look, the Dogs played well. They're still missing the Bond. They're still missing Trelaw. They're still missing Waitman. So look, they're still missing some big players, and they still gave it a good old crack. I remember seeing Sarong in this game. It was just a beast after halftime, especially. Just was everywhere. I mean, Brayshaw played really well. So yeah, look, Fremantle, they're starting to click. That derby got their momentum going. So and I think they've got an easy sort of game this week. I think they might be playing Richmond in Gabba round. So could be 3 in a row for them. So look, yeah, Chris's boys, the Dockers, they did what they had to do. They looked pretty well. It was a great, entertaining game. And look, if you're a Bulldogs supporter, I wouldn't be too salty on this. There's a lot of encouraging signs there, especially when you get your players back. So
They played really well with the players they're missing.
yeah, true. So yeah, look, both of these could still make finals. So yeah, it's not doom and gloom, especially for the Bulldogs here.
That's for sure.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is your J Crom probably preview of round 4 because you heard what we had to say last night, King. So, well, thank guys. Well done, J Crom. Thank you for your round 4 review, mate. That was pretty good. Was solo. A lot of talking from you, but you did well, mate. You did well.
Sharing now.
Before we move on to round 5, we got a couple of things. King, I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can. But can you bring up Johnny Carlton Banana of the Week?
I can do that. Yep, let's do that right now. Johnny Carlton's Banana of the Week. Give it a go.
Guys, I said I would have a toy. I said I would have a toy by now, but it hasn't arrived yet, which is doing my head in. But wait, I got his name. I got his name written down, so I don't want to say the wrong name.
Okay.
Give me 1 sec. Give me 1 second. Where are we? We're here. Yeah. Sorry, guys. 1 second.
Don't forget to, if you're new, while he's getting his act together, if you're new, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel and give us a like.
Johnny Carlton's round 4 Banana of the Week goes to umpire number 21 in the Gold Coast versus Adelaide game because
100%.
that was a clean mark. And he got freaking, you were right there in front of him and he tackled him down without the ball and you were right there and you did not call it. And then you had the audacity the next day to say, yeah, sorry, that was a free kick to Rankin. Oh, man, you are a banana. And
absolute banana.
What a flog.
You are a banana, and that is your round 4 Banana of the Week.
There we go.
Congratulations, mate. You've joined the special list. Now, before we move on to round 5, we got also another thing. We got our footy tips. Chris C and King of the North haven't bring up a title for this yet or a pre-show, but they'll do something about it. But lucky Johnny Carlton has it all under control. At least one thing. We'll start off with first place, and he had a good week as well, despite his team losing. He had a pretty good week. J Crom, you are on 24 tips, my friend.
Oh,
so
well
congratulations,
done,
you are in first place. Now, this is very tight. After a terrible week of tipping by Johnny Carlton, he only got 5 right. So Johnny Carlton, you are on 22, 2 behind J Crom now. So terrible signs. Now, only one behind Johnny Carlton. He had a brilliant week, scoring 7. He says he's shit at tipping, but he's done really good this week. King of the North, you
There we
are on
go.
21, my friend. One behind me.
Very nice.
And to the Adelaide, he'll be wearing an Adelaide Guernsey at the end of the year because he's coming last. It's the big man. He's not here tonight, but it's Chris C. And Chris C, you are on 20. So you're one behind King of the North, mate.
There we
So
go.
we're going to need a big tipping from you this week, Chris C. So I think you need to stop doing Port Adelaide. Maybe that's your secret hack. But
I need to stop doing
yeah.
that. I would have got the round.
mate, I need to stop tipping Carlton because, hey, I could be up and flying. But anyways.
That's it.
All right. Round 5. Now, give me 1 second.
Let's bring up the game for Thursday night, shall we?
Thank you. That's what I was about to ask.
There we go. So it is the
right,
Adelaide
guys.
Crows versus the Cats on Thursday night at Adelaide Oval.
So, basically, guys, this is gather rounds. Round 5. All games are in Adelaide this week. So, congratulations to the South Australian fans. You get crazy footy. I wish I was going. I was supposed to go, but I've had a mental breakdown about Carlton and decided not to go. So, but J Crom, are you going to this game? It's in Adelaide.
No,
this week?
I actually tried to get tickets when they came out. Was it December they came out?
Yeah.
Sold in the same day, man. It was unreal. This game was sold so quick, and I could not get in. But look, we haven't beaten Geelong since 2021, guys. So they've had the wood on us. But despite that, still sticking with my boys. I think we're good enough. Even with ranking out, I still think we're good enough. And I'm tipping Adelaide.
King of the North.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the home side and tip Adelaide as well. I think they're good enough as well. And I think the Cats got it taken to them a bit last week. So, yeah, go the Crows.
Well, boys, it's a 3 out of 3 here. I'm also going Adelaide as well. At home, too good. I personally think. I think their recruits are going to start. And I feel like the two big boys in the forward line are going to give some trouble to the Geelong defence. So going Adelaide as well. Chris C, I'll get your tips later, but he
That's
probably
it.
goes Geelong because he
And
doesn't like Adelaide.
we will also do a watch along on Thursday night for this one as well. So
Beautiful.
Crows and Cats. So
Tune into that, boys.
that's it.
Nice.
All right, Friday night.
Friday night we have
Collingwood versus Sydney.
yes.
I know it off by heart because I'm going to my mate's house to watch this one. So it's the Pies taking on the Swans at Adelaide Oval. Both of these teams are not their home ground. But, J Crom, the Swans are back. But do you think Collingwood are in form? Who are you
So
going here, mate?
Houston's out, obviously.
Still out
Yes,
for another
2
week.
weeks.
Yep.
2 weeks, 2 weeks.
I think that's just nudged the needle for me, and I think Jordan's going to tag Nick. I'm going Sydney.
Going Sydney. King of the North?
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Sydney as well after that performance. I know it was only against North, but yeah, they looked very good all over the park. So yeah, let's go Sydney as well.
Look, a lot of people call me Johnny Collingwood, right?
They do.
But guess what? To all those people that call Johnny Collingwood, stuff ya, because I'm going to Sydney Swans, baby. Yeah, the Swannies.
There we go.
Go the Swannies. So, yeah, I'll be cheering on for Sydney on Friday night. Cheer the red and the white. And, yeah, going Sydney as well, boys. So, yeah, we're all going the same here. It's good stuff.
Yeah, we'll do a We'll do a watch along for that one as well on Friday night as well. So it's going to be a big weekend of watch alongs this weekend on the channel.
All right. Well, next game is between shit and shit. They're both teams are. Oh no. Okay, wrong game. Sorry. There's 2 games on the 120. I'm guessing.
There is. Yeah. So we're doing North Melbourne and the Suns first.
Oh, I thought you bring up Carlton West Coast. I was like shit to shit, but never mind.
No, I got that next.
All right, King of the North, Jake Crom, we'll start with you. North or Gold Coast, mate?
Nah, easy game. Gold Coast for me.
By the way, just before we move on, J Crom, how many supporters would Barossa Park hold?
Oh, jeez. So Barossa Park, I'm not too sure. I think they've been working on it for the past year or so they could get a game up there. So I'd say 20. I'd say 20,000 maybe.
20,000?
It's a very country. It's where all the wineries are. So
Yeah, it's up in
I'm
the
not
Barossa
sure
Valley.
how big a ground they've got. I'm not sure how big the ground is down there. It'll be a lot of standing for sure.
So you're telling me Norwood Oval is less than this?
Well, I'm not too sure how big. Norwood's probably a bigger oval for sure.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's a geographical fact that I did not know. But yeah, it's at Barossa Park. So J Crom's gone Gold Coast. King of the North, you're going Gold Coast as well.
Yeah, Gold Coast for me as well. Yep.
Yep, and I'm going Gold Coast too. So, boys, I don't think none of us want to change our tips now. I think everyone wants to stay in the exact same position.
That's it. Yep.
All right, moving on to the next Saturday early game. Now it's between shit and shit. So both teams are winless, and it's Carlton. Oh my God, taking on West Coast at Adelaide Oval. J Crom, I'll go with you. I'm really not surprised here if you go which way, but we'll go with you first, J Crom. Where are you going here, mate?
Oh, look, I'm going Carlton. They can't lose the West Coast. They just can't lose the West Coast. I'm going the Blues. They're going to start their season from here. So, yeah, Carlton for me.
King of the North?
Yeah, I stupidly tipped West Coast last week, or the week before. So yeah, Carlton for me, and they have to win. They have to win big. So they need to win by between 6 and 10 goals to get their season back on track. Am I bringing the bowl call up?
Have some faith in your lads.
No, the bold call's not coming up. As much as I'm going Carlton, but I could see this going either way, to be honest, right now. I don't know with Carlton anymore. I thought, Chrissy, I'm going West Coast. Well, you just...
Chrissy in the chat.
You went West Coast. Anyways, I'm going Carlton. I still think we have hope, but I'm going Carlton. So, King, next game, please. I don't want to see this team anymore.
I know. All right, this is going to be a beauty. It's the Bulldogs versus Brisbane at Norwood Oval. And this is, we might actually do a watch-along for this one as well. So yeah, this could be a really good game. So, yeah, what do you reckon, J Crom?
I'm going to tip Brisbane, but look, I'm not fully confident. I think the Doggies could get up here in a bit of an upset, but I'm sticking with the Brisbane. It's hard to tip against an undefeated team. So, yeah, Brisbane.
King of the North?
I'm thinking when the Bulldogs play, is it in Ballarat? They play like country footy really, really well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
It's a similar sort of thing, isn't it? So, look, I'm gonna go the Bulldogs here, in an upset. So yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I'm sorry, King, but I'm going Brisbane as well. I just think they're too good at the moment, 4-0, and I think they'll continue their streak. And well, there you go, guys. There's our first different tip of the round so far. So good to notice, King.
That's okay.
So what, King's gone Bulldogs?
I've gone for the Bulldogs.
King has
I've gone
gone
for your
Dogs,
second
yes.
favourite team.
Oh, wow, nice. Yeah, nice.
All right, moving on.
Next game is why isn't that coming up? Oh, hang on a sec. I didn't actually...
It's all the way over in the left.
I didn't bring it up properly. So let's just do this quickly. There we go.
It's Melbourne. It's Melbourne versus Essendon.
Melbourne versus Essendon. Yep. At Adelaide
Guys,
Oval.
just before just before we tip, how good is it to have 9 games again now? No buys, nothing like that. Full teams.
100%.
J Crom, we'll start with you. Melbourne or Essendon?
Gee, this is a hard game to tip. I don't trust the Bombers. I don't trust Melbourne. Man, I'm just trying to figure the matchups in my head. Look, I'm going to go to Demons. Just got a feeling. Just a feeling. Go on the Demons.
King of the North. Chrissy, I don't have your I only have from West Coast down. I don't have your first couple games. Did he send it in the chat? Because I can't see it. I can only see West Coast.
Not yet. Just in the chat, he missed the first couple of games. So yeah, just give us the first couple.
That's what I'm trying to find.
I'm just going to go position on the ladder. So I'm going to go the Bombers for this one.
Well, J Crom spoiled my story. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is Johnny Carlton's bold call of the week.
Oh, hang on a sec. While I bring up the bold call of the week. Johnny Carlton's bold call of the week is...
Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Carlton's gather round, bold call of the week. Melbourne will beat Essendon this week and get their first win of 2025.
Well, there we go.
There we go.
Good minds think alike.
Okay, Chris C. Crow Sydney. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Good stuff. All right, King of the North. Next game.
Next game is the Tigers versus Fremantle at Barossa Park again.
Again? Wow, around again. 2 games this play.
What happened to the other ovals?
No, Norwood, it's there. Bulldogs Brisbane.
Mount Barker.
Mount Barker as well. Yeah, they're not playing at Mount Barker this time. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
All right, J Crom, we'll start with you.
Yeah, Dockers. It's hard to... Yeah, got to go Fremantle.
King of the North.
Yeah, Dockers for me as well.
Yeah, Freo for me, and I reckon Chris C will go Freo too.
Yep. That's his grand final
next
team.
Game. Yeah, grand final team. Yep.
All right.
Next.
And the next game is the Saints versus GWS at Norwood Oval again.
Oh.
This could be a good game.
Well,
or it could be a smashing.
By the way, my cousin, go away.
Pete, g'day, Pete. Welcome back in, Johnny Collingwood.
Look, first of all, I really hope.
And you didn't even say g'day to Dree either. You know, he was in there too.
Who, Dre?
Dre was in there too. Yeah, earlier.
I didn't see my other cousin. I'm sorry, cuz.
Yeah,
there he is. There he is. There he is. Don't worry, they both come in together. It's all right. Of course they do. Love you, boys. Now look, I'll go first. Sanger, if you're listening, I hope your team gets smashed this week. So I'm going the mighty Tsunami Giants. I just think they're just too good at the moment, and they're going to continue their form. J Crom, what about you?
Yeah, it's hard to not pick GWS here, even though I like how the Saints are playing. I think it's going to be closer than you think, but GWS.
And King of the North?
I think I'm going to go GWS as well. The Tsunami they are just too good. They're a very good side. But I do hope that Saints put on a good performance. They don't get flogged for Sanger's sake. But yeah, it should be a good win to GWS.
Hello.
And then, hello.
Oh.
Still there?
The game
you
around.
cut out, King.
There we go. Did I cut out?
Yeah.
It's all right. I'm just lagging a little bit, I think.
All right. Next game, King.
It is the Power versus the Hawks.
Do I have to tell you who I'm going for? The Hawks. The Hawks are going to smash them. It'll be about 30, 40 points.
Boost.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
I can't pick the Power again, so it will be the Hawks by a big score, big margin as well.
Yeah, well, I'm going Hawthorn as well. I just think they're too good at the moment. They're undefeated, and Chris C's gone Hawthorn as well. He's gone against his team. So
Oh wow, Chris C.
he's gone bang.
Some bad
Where
news.
is the faith? Where is the faith, my friend?
Some bad news for the
He's
Hawks
gone
today. Day has gone out for 3 to 4 months with a broken foot. I think it is fractured foot.
Yeah.
So that's a big
crazy.
That's a big hit for the Hawks, but they do have some nice strength in backup to come in. So unfortunately for Will Day, that's bad news for him and out for a long time. So
Yeah, bad.
Next game.
Looking at all Australian, that guy.
It was.
yeah, like I said, if we take this loss and we win versus Geelong, I'll take it. Never liked Adelaide Oval anyway. There we go. That's from Genwill.
Huswaite, yeah, haven't seen him for a while.
If we can't beat the Saints at home,
What's
how can
our
we beat
bogey
the
side?
Hawks?
Fair enough. He's
All
gone
right.
bang.
There we go. So there.
Is that it?
That is the round. Yeah.
Oh,
Gather
wow.
round coming up. Unreal.
Well, what number gather round is this? 4, 5,
4, I reckon.
4. Number 4. All
I think
right.
it's number 4.
Yeah.
Well, Carlton are 3-0 in gather round. So, by the way, just letting you all know that we're 3-0. So we'll, it's a good little stat as well. So hopefully the Carlton continue 4-0. But
Tell you what, I don't want to be hanging around you if West Coast win.
Gemmel's
Cheers,
saying
guys.
4. Chris is saying 3.
nah,
did
it's
you
not
hear-
3. It has to be more.
And did I
It's
hear
fingers for
King?
4-5.
Did I hear what? Genwell? Port's our
has to-
Port's our bogey side. Nah, not this time. There's no bogeys. The only bogeys there are in Port's noses. So there we go. Johnny Collingwood merch is coming soon. Stay tuned from Peter. So good on you, boys. Getting that across the line. So it looks like what I might do Sunday. It'll either be a doubleheader, Saints, Giants, Power, Hawks. Now we will do after the game Sunday night. Is that correct, Johnny Carlton? You'll be around to do that one, or you want to do Monday again?
Oh, actually, after the game was supposed to be cancelled this week because I was going to go gather round, but
We could put it
I
on.
think
if
Sunday night works.
Sunday night might work. All right, we'll let you know, everybody, whether we'll do Sunday night while the Power and the Hawks game is still going, or we'll be doing Monday night. So we'll keep you posted on that. Definitely 3. Chris reckons definitely 3 gather rounds. Only 3, not 4. So
I mean, it could have been.
apparently,
Could have been, yeah, man.
apparently
There's
NRL
been
next year is
3,
trying
this
to
is
organise
4.
a rugby match at the G during the gather round of the AFL. Oh, that's interesting.
No, we don't care.
There we go. Between the Storm and probably the
maybe
Panthers.
Brisbane.
There we go. Oh, that's interesting. 2023 was the first. 2023 was the first gather round. So it looks like it is 3. 15 likes as well. Thank you, Ree, for counting the likes, and thank you everybody for liking the show tonight and watching along. We really appreciate it. And
Thanks, guys. It's been a good show.
any final thoughts, J Crom?
Well,
I'm
first of
just
all,
really excited for gather round. That's it.
Yeah.
I just want to say sorry about the phone connection when it died. So
Oh, that's all right.
but we got back up, and like I say, guys, thank you for everyone who was in the chat, and bring on gather round, and let's hope I can sing my song at the end of the week. So
Let's hope you
we'd
can.
love to. So go the Baggers, go the Baggers.
That's it. Go the Mighty
Thanks,
Fighting
guys.
Hawks as well, and go the
Come on, the Crom, up the Crom.
go the Crom. There we go. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. Take care. Spike your hair, and as always, stay hunky.
Stay hunky.